Hello again. The cylindrical tower behind me represents the remains of probably an early 17th century windmill. That windmill was part of the new English estate, rural estate, created here in the late 16th and early 17th century as part of the Tudor and Stuart reconquest of Ireland. But the real reason why we're here is that the probably very early 17th century stone windmill is built on top of an earlier 13th century windmill mound. We suggest that this was the windmill of the town, where the townsfolk would come to have their corn ground. The windmill in the 13th century was not made of stone. It appears to have been a timber post mill. The post mill could be operated by the miller and his assistant, usually his son, to catch the wind. And the sails of the windmill would have turned the millstones, the stone millstones within the timber mill, to grind the corn into flour to make bread. The other thing about the windmill, the 13th century windmill, is we know that during this period windmills, and for that matter water mills, all mills were owned by the lord of the manor. And in this case it was, of course, the King of England as Lord of Ireland. It basically was a source of income for them. But our feeling would be that the windmill lay within a deer park to the southeast of the castle, and that this deer park not only had a windmill within it, but also a fish pond and also a rabbit warren, what our English scholars would call a landscape of lordship. Our English colleagues would call a landscape of lordship. So the area to the southeast of the castle and town effectively was open ground or semi-wooded ground with a windmill, fish pond, deer park with fallow deer in it, and had rabbits as well, a rabbit warren. So that really is the end of the tour at Rindoon. Thank you for coming here. But before I go, I'd like you to remember that we are here at the behest of the landowner, Mr. P.J. Grady, and we are grateful for him for allowing us access to his land, and we're also grateful to Mr. Richard Collins of St. John's House for having allowed us access to the hospital area at the start of the tour. So we thank both those men. Thank you.